organizations and administrations of the Girl Scouts in Southern Utah, we invite you to contact Mary Shipley at 801-836-6991. You'll be able to build lasting relationships and make amazing memories. For more information, go to gsutah.org.
Utah State's Huntsman MBA Career and Internship Fair at the Gardner Center, November 5th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Informational booth at the Hazy Building, November 6th at 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Info luncheon, Wednesday, November 6th, 12 p.m. in the Hazy Building. Please RSVP at thehuntsman.usu.edu/MBA/events.
What's up, sports fans? I'm Easton Smith with your weekly Dixie State sports update. Starting off with your women's soccer team, they'll be on the road this weekend, taking on Colorado Mesa on Friday and Western Colorado on Sunday. The men's soccer team will be on the road this Friday as they take on Westminster College. Then they're back home on Sunday as they play Colorado Christian for senior night. The volleyball team will be at home this weekend as they take on New Mexico Highlands on Friday and then Colorado State Pueblo on Saturday. Then the Dixie State football team is home this Saturday as they take on Colorado Mesa at 1 p.m. in Trailblazer Stadium. For more scores, news, highlights, and more, tune into Radio Dixie 91.3.
Hey everybody, this is Ed Tracy. Make sure you tune into Startup Nation, my show about up-and-coming startups, entrepreneurs who go face-to-face with proven business leaders. They talk about funding, innovation, current business trends, technology, and social media's role in business. Make sure you tune in Tuesdays at 3 p.m. on Radio St. George, 100.3 FM.
Enjoy music till dawn, overnights, on Radio St. George 100.3 FM.
This is KDXI St. George, Radio St. George at 100.3 FM. Creator of Energy Healing by Design, Nicole Ashton, a world-renowned healer and luminary whose life-after-death experience has allowed her the gift of empowering people around the globe to heal and grow into their true authentic space. Nicole, with her natural connection to Source, which has remained open since her return, will help you and your family find the frequency of gratitude and patient love that will assist you in awakening your soul's design. We now welcome you to Return to Consciousness with your host, Nicole.
Hello, all you beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of Return to Consciousness, live with Nicole and April. Today is a very fun subject. It is connecting to spirit. So we're going to speak about spirit and what that looks like. And I really want to bring some holiday fun, some Halloween fun into it, and like the different expressions or the different ideas of spirit. And then the second half, we'll go ahead and go over some connections, like how I connect to spirit and just some views on that. And we'll do a short meditation on the second half. Spirit, connecting to spirit to me is throughout my work that over these many years and working with spirit every second of every day is I realize that, and this is my view, that spirit is never far away from you. Spirit never leaves you. However, our energy and our frequency through experiences of life and emotions and things like that, we move away from spirit. And so each time that you map out an intent to do a meditation in the morning, afternoon, and night, your practice of becoming closer to spirit or sensing, feeling, and knowing they're around seems to increase and increase. And then also, I've recognized that people love connecting to spirit. People just love it. We forget to ask sometimes. So when you're seeking something or you're seeking answers, we sometimes forget to ask, and we have to ask to get the answers. And then when that happens, it's really giving a direct question, and then they'll give you a direct answer. But when you don't really know what you're asking for, or you kind of speculate or hum-ha, you're going to get that same answer. So I found out connecting to spirit, really asking direct questions really assists you in that. However, the spirit that I work with every day, the angels, the guides, the energies, and the frequencies are different than Halloween is that Halloween's represents, I guess. And there's so many different ideas of it, but the trick or treating, and then when you go into the spooky, scary stuff, it's the whole different idea of what those spirits look like. And so, do you have any fun plans for Halloween? I noticed you dressed up.
You challenged me to dress up, so I did.
I took the challenge to myself and I forgot.
Yeah,
Sorry.
well, we always go to my sister's house, and they build a big haunted house, which is a scary haunted house. But my friend is in the ICU, and so I spent the night last night in the ICU, and I'm probably spending the night there again tonight. And so I'm not sure what Halloween looks like yet because I haven't got there. And I'm trying to get everything ready for Hades, so my mind isn't all into the Halloween like I would love it to be. But speaking of spirits, so spending the night in the ICU is unfortunately familiar. I've done this many times with different people because I believe if you are going to pass, you shouldn't pass alone. And so her husband needed a break, so I spent the night there. And I had great conversations talking about spirits and death and stuff like that. And to me, like connection, like I believe we're all one. And so like the conversation that I was having was like, this is our body, but we're just like a star. Like we're all just like lights. And when we like leave this experience in our body, then we're all just these lights. And I don't know, it's on my mind because I just like feel like I slept with spirits last night, even though they're all around us, and whether we choose to see them or not, or feel them or connect is our choice because we all have different perspectives on what that looks like. And then our perspectives change as we grow and expand.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
The spirits here that people feel and sense the most would be when I cross people over too. It's like that door is open and you can feel the people's ancestors and those types of spirits. And then you go into the archangels, or the angels, the archangels, and things like that. But there's like some kind of beginner's point or a beginner's place. And sometimes I have a hard time teaching that because when I died, I forgot the steps that people take and where they're at, and I connect so easily. So it's very interesting. You feel? Do you get like your know? Do you have like a knowing, or do you feel the energies on your skin? How do you sense that the spirits are around?
Well, I have a knowing, and I was talking to another lady that was sitting in there. I don't know if she's a nurse or what her exact title was, but she had to watch her the whole night. And so I started the conversation with her because we were talking about this kind of thing. And she's like, well, how do you do that? Well, how do you do that? So I was like having to go back to the beginning. I'm like, well, you can meditate. Do you ever meditate? Or, because like you said, you have to remember, like, how do you explain it or break it down to people how they do it? And I think the first step is we have to quiet ourselves. And that's really hard because we have so much at our fingertips, whether it's our phone or, we got to be here, we got to do this, like stay in that busy, or numb yourself with the TV shows, whatever, So it's a choice. We have to be quiet. But that's not always true, actually, because when I used to run and listen to junky music, I could meditate that way, too. So there's no wrong way. It's your way. But when I was in the ICU, she was trying to communicate with me, and she has a breathing tube down her throat, so she couldn't. But I knew this was really important. So, having that knowing, like I knew it was important. And then I figured out what she wanted. And I was telling my mom that. She's like, well, when I had that tube down my throat, I couldn't communicate. How'd you read her lips? I'm like, Mom, I'm just intuitive. And my mom was like, oh, it was funny.
Isn't that interesting? Some people haven't had that experience to be able to do that, so they don't understand it. But we all have the capability of doing so. I had the opportunity to work with the twins this week, which we all know Darren, my little client that crossed over, and I've been working like that with him for a really long time, and the twins. But I got the opportunity to work with them this week, and it is so amazing how they and this is spirit, even though they're still alive, they still will speak through the eyes. And that is still spirit. That's their spirit speaking to mine. And that's how I'm able to communicate what their needs are to their mom. So, and joy, like once they saw me, that joy and that soulful self, just I didn't know that was gonna happen. They just like lit up, and they've really had a struggle, their mom said, because of what happened with their brother, and to be able to go in on that level and just bring that joy back to them, or connect them back to their joy. And that's what, when we speak connecting to spirit, is once you are able to stand in a frequency of vibration and energy of stillness and be in the now, there's this beautiful information that is always available to you, and it's always out of kindness and love. I did have a friend ask me not very long ago, how do you know who's speaking to you? Spirit, through an authentic spirit, a pure spirit, is always speaking kind, and it's always for the highest good. And angels and ascended masters, all these energies that we're familiar, some are familiar with, I guess. They always are speaking from the highest good, and they always you feel very safe, and it's very calming. And that's really, and you always ask, who am I speaking with, and are you of the light? And they have to answer. So that's one of the questions that I began to, because in the beginning I was always worried, who am I listening to? Is this right or is this wrong? And then I realized there's really no right or wrong. It's your choice who you listen to. But when you're in that spirit realm, to really ask, who am I speaking with, and are you of the light? Mm-hmm. Especially with Halloween coming up, people they're like, how are you not bombarded with these like, they air quote darker energies? And I say I create a boundary. Light is allowed in my space. Anything else, doesn't exist to me, even though it does. It just doesn't exist it exists in someone else's reality, but not mine. I don't let it. And so Halloween's always been really interesting to me, because I've never really understood, because remember, I died and came back, lost my memory, and I've never learned what Halloween actually really means, or the whole background of it. So it's kind of just people, they're trick-or-treating, and I just realized right now, I'm like, I don't even really know what it means. I'm talking about it on the air, and I've never asked what the story behind Halloween is.
I have, when I used to homeschool my kids, but I don't recall either. It must not be significant, but I do know they don't celebrate it in every country. So some people don't even acknowledge Halloween. And then in some countries, it's just like the Day of the Dead, and they make like special bread and celebrate the people who have died. So it does have different meanings in different cultures. Another thing like that happens to me is someone will connect to me, but I have to write a letter to somebody. And I don't ask who it is. Sometimes I know, sometimes I don't. I just trust it, and I write it, and then I give it to that person, but I don't reread it, because it's a message not for me, it's for them. Mm-hmm. So it will show up different to everybody. It's just when we open ourselves up to it and not judge it, and however it looks is how it's supposed to look at the time. Mm-hmm. So we just have to trust it and go with it, and it's not weird or crazy or.
And that's practicing the intuition. First, you got to trust, right? That's what was happening. And I feel for some people, like, I have a lot of people coming to me with the gifts and abilities, and one of the things that they have the hardest time with is trusting that it's almost like they don't think they're worthy of it in the beginning. They're like, some are judged, feel they'll be judged, and some are just don't. They're like, how am I worthy of this light? And I'm like, it is you don't have to earn light. You don't have to earn love. You're born love. You're created, like I always say, in the spark of light, unconditional love, and in greatness. And there's nothing to earn. Mm-hmm. And that worthiness always seems to come up, but.
Or sometimes, too, I think people think maybe because it doesn't look the same way as how someone else is doing it, that it's not the right way. Or, who knows? Just have to go with it.
With there's 7 plus billion people on this planet, and none of us have the same view. So, and all of us have this beautiful, beautiful, authentic, original ray of light, and they're all different. And so it's embracing yours. And when you're born with gifts, and all of us are, but some of us are born awakened to them. But the thing is when you are this, and I'm finding this in so many kids, when you're born with these gifts already activated, or whatever you want to call that, as you grow up, you don't realize you have them because you have never been without them. And so it's like just like allowing people to move into that authentic space and realize we're all so different. But when you're feeling the spirit and you're feeling those spirit bumps and you're just really, really having this open heart and this loving space, when you take that gap and be in the now and listen to like the first thing you say, then you're like, you start to expand. So spirit will speak to you, angels will speak to you, but they're not going to continue if you don't let them know that you're listening. They'll try different ways. So it's like it takes a lot for them to communicate with us too. So it's like being present when they are speaking to you, and then you're able to expand that information. And you're like, thank you. And you're like, oh my gosh, they're listening. And then they give you a little bit more, and that gap gets bigger and bigger until the struggle of trying to connect is just automatic.
Well, in some ways too, for beginners, or even if you're not a beginner, is to start to notice when you see double digits. Those are angel signs, like when it's, the same number, 12, 12, 11, 11, when you look at the clock. And also like animals, when those little animals or something just shows up out of nowhere, you can look up those because those are signs. So the angels are trying to get your attention. And when you look them up, it'll tell you like what specifically they're trying to get your attention for. So you could keep ignoring it, or once you start picking up on it. And the nurse that was talking to me, and she believes all this stuff too. It was a good conversation. And she was saying how her boyfriend was shot in the bar like about a year ago. Yeah. And she was saying, I've been seeing 44 up on the monitor. And I was like, oh, that's weird. And then we were just talking, and I was like, oh, you know what? I'm actually 44. So that is even weirder. So he is obviously trying to communicate with you. But yeah, so she's like, I don't know if I'm allowed to talk like this at work, but I don't care. It was cute.
Yeah, and that is one of the beginning things that spirit angels, they will start showing up in numbers and sequences, and you'll see them over and over again. And I get a lot of messages through songs too. A lot of I'll be asking or seeking something, and I listen to Christian rock. I'm not religion, but I love I just love that music. It always is uplifting, and I am a Jesus lover. I am. He sent me back through the veil, and I'm really, really close to that energy. And so every time I have any sort of need or question, I'll listen to the music, and it seems like something will show up in there that will assist me in the direction that I go. And so connecting to spirit is kind of weird for some people. Either they're in fear or they don't understand it.
Well, some people just don't like themselves, so why would they want to connect with themselves? Right. That was just a random thought.
Yeah.
Right? Because you have to like just be in your present moment.
So what I found with people that have that fear is sometimes that spirit does come in pretty fast. Like all of a sudden you'll get this wave of light, you'll get this wave of chills, you'll see something in the corner of your eyes, and it's scary at first. But what I've witnessed is that when you turn it to fear, then that you'll view it as fear. And that's what you'll keep attracting. So in the beginning, when this starts happening and you're getting these like lights moving around you, ask and then really recognize how you're feeling. And I noticed that also the really bright lights come in. So I used to get really scared at first because it was just a white light standing in your corner is like, oh my gosh, I thought it was morning and there's just light there. But what I used to do is I would take a breath and I'd kind of be worried, and they would go away. And then as I realized, I'm the one that has that control. I'm pushing that. Mm-hmm. I'm pushing my information away because I'm fearful of it. And that's not how the angels and guides want you to feel. So they'll move away until you're ready. So it's like, just be brave. And each time that it comes in, sometimes you had a client that the ceiling cracked and he's new to all this, and it was very fearful for him. And I said, and he's like, I closed my eyes. I didn't dare open them, but I didn't have a reaction. So he's got a really amazing message coming through. but he didn't open his eyes. I'm like, I don't know what would have happened if you did. You maybe would have witnessed the light or not. But that he didn't go into fear allowed him to have a very amazing message that assisted him and his family in the journey that they're on now. And then each time it just gets more and more and more. They'll come in the morning, they'll come in at night, and you begin to have clarity. For some, this is an interesting conversation. I understand that it's connecting to spirit, and even some of believing in it is out there for some. But I just invite you to embrace what you don't understand. Embrace what you really don't know. There's this light out there, this energy that we're taught to use these certain senses, and we're born with all of the senses, but we're taught to only use a few. And when you move outside of the belief system and the limited light that you get to see, it's like seeing out of a flashlight. You see where the light is only like that you're only told that is available to you. But once you cross over, or once you open your consciousness, it's like, oh my gosh, there's all these different fractions of light that I never even would have had the opportunity to expand on if I wouldn't have taken a few minutes to trust that there's something bigger than yourself or or the now, and that is when the consciousness opens up. That's when the spirit is like, hey, this has always been you. You're amazing. You were born this way, and falling back into expanding that and trusting it. And so some people just like go baby steps. Listen, so might shelf it for later or totally dismiss it all the way. And that's okay, because this will show up when it's your time and space to understand what we're talking about.
I think it's helpful to welcome it too. Like, I just welcome the spirits in my house, and it's fine. And they'll do weird things. They like to move things, hide things, turn on the oven. They'll just do things. And last week, again, the oven was on. I told my son, get over here. Mom, get over here. Give me your hand. Put it in there. See, I told you this oven comes on. I know exactly who it is. And I never met her, and I don't know her name, but it's his ex-girlfriend's mom. And then he did it, and he felt it, and he was saying her name over and over. He's all, it's her. So funny. And then my one daughter, she'll be like, go in the playroom, Mom, tell those kids. Because there's just spirits. And as long as they're good spirits, it's good. We've had some that aren't so good, and we just had to help them find their way out.
Yeah.
And so it happens, but it's not weird.
And I've had a couple, actually 4 people that have committed suicide or clients that have had friends or family members that have committed suicide, and the spirits don't dare go over because of the fear of being judged or what's going to happen. And so we've been able to cross them over in the sessions, and it's been very, very beautiful, because each time that you assist a spirit to the other side, or you take the time to listen, you learn stuff from them on how to help others. Because through each one of these individuals, these spirits that crossed over to the light, the person that helped me release them, because it was the person on the client I had, they also get an understanding, a more profound understanding of their gifts and abilities, because they get to witness what just happened. And then the person that has crossed over will go over and learn. Now they have an opportunity. They're not stuck by their own fears or by us holding on to them. They go, they clear, they learn, and they come back as soon as it's their time. And then you feel them in a more profound, beautiful way. And it's been a really interesting weekend to sit. I don't see the spirits as much as my mom does, as much as you do. I work with the angels and creator to heal like I do, like I'm able to do. Sometimes gives me a headache to do that. But I've witnessed what you and my mom say. And my mom, she just started doing this 3 years ago, really being able to have a direct communication. So I get to see and feel and know what's happening, and then it's kind of like you guys send them to me, and then we get to move them to the other side. But it's such a beautiful process, and it's simple. Like, you get to watch these beautiful souls go into the light, and it's kind of like this beautiful teamwork that we all get to do. And that's why it's so important for people with healing abilities and gifts, to really embrace each other, because we have a different light. Like, we all have a unique fundamental ray that has this gift that can help people to like a certain point of their existence, and then it's just then you have a different one. You help them this way, I help them this way, my mom helps them that way, and and so on. And it's like sometimes I just look at healers and see. Well, I do always look at healers and like just see that uniqueness. And there's so many billions of people here that we can assist. That this love is abundant. It's abundant. So.
Well, it's like a bridge. If you just imagine a bridge and say it has planks, so each plank has to be there or you're going to fall through, or it won't help you bridge you to the other side. It's just like all of us. We all are like one of those planks, one of those pieces, and no two will look the same. And so with one missing, it's not as easy. I like to use parables or like try to see it, and so visualizing something like that is like, oh yeah, well, if they were all looking like, let's say Nicole, if all the planks are looking like Nicole, it won't serve us as much as if everyone shows up. And so we all could, like do our part. So no, we're not going to all have the same gifts and the same, but we will have lots of similarities because we all, are one at the end of the day. So,
we came from that same light.
Right. So we're all the same, you know what I mean? So we just, trust and step into us.
Yep. And thank you for listening to the first half of Return to Consciousness. We will be back with a meditation and some more about spirit in a few minutes.
Oh yeah, that's the Midnight Special. That's the Midnight Special.
I'm Rich Warren, inviting you to tune in to our Midnight Special, folk music and farce, show tunes and satire, madness and escape. 2 hours weekly ranging from ancient ballads to cutting-edge singer-songwriters, classic Broadway shows, and the latest British comedy, all on the Midnight Special.
The Midnight Special, Saturday evenings from 7 till 9, on Radio St. George 100.3.
Steamroller Copies, we're the one to help you till your work is done.
Copiers for Sale, a division of Steamroller Copies, is who we use here at Radio Dixie for our copy machine. Not a branch, but locally owned and operated. Copiers for Sale at copiers4sale.com.
Full service business center, Steamroller Copies.
Are you pregnant or think you might be? Hope Pregnancy Center offers free confidential pregnancy testing and support to anyone facing a crisis or unplanned pregnancy. Educational options can empower you to make the best decision. With Hope Pregnancy Center, you will never face pregnancy alone. For more information, hopepregnancyutah.org.
Attention, Dixie State University students. For those looking for employment, you can go to schooljobs.com/career/Dixie to apply for jobs such as administrative assistant for physical sciences, payroll specialist, student life coordinator, and many more. Again, that is schooljobs.com/careers/Dixie to apply today.
The Scratch for H Club. This event is an introduction to computer science using the program language Scratch. It is for 5th through 7th graders, and it will go on from the 10th of September until the 5th of November. For more information, please visit eventbrite.com/4H. Brought to you by the STEM After School Program.
Ever want to travel and work on completing your education? DSU's Study Abroad program is now accepting applications to study abroad in Rome, Italy. Application deadline is January 22nd of 2020. Visit abroad.dixie.edu for more details. Again, that is abroad.dixie.edu.
Dove Advocacy services through the Women's Resource Center are available now until December 2nd, every Monday from 3 to 5 p.m. in the Holland 489. Also available are free safety whistles, available now until December 6th or until gone. You can find them in the Women's Resource Center office.
We're not always here, but email's a great way to contact us. radiostgeorge@gmail.com. A request, a comment, an idea, or more. radiostgeorge@gmail.com. This is Hannah with your Radio Dixie calendar for Wednesday, October 30th. From 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., there is the Chaos Blender in the Outdoor Gardner Plaza. From 7:30 to 9:30 p.m., there's the Southwest Symphony Halloween Spooktacular Concert in the Cox Auditorium. And from 8:30 to 10:30 p.m., the African Students Organization has a pumpkin carving party in the Outdoor Pavilion. And that's your calendar on Radio Dixie 91.3.
Enjoy our content anytime. Subscribe to our podcast. Search for Radio St. George on podbean.com.
You're listening to Radio St. George 100.3 FM. We now welcome you back to Return to Consciousness with your host, Nicole.
Hello, all you beautiful people, and welcome back to Return to Consciousness Live with Nicole and April. So we're talking about connecting to spirit, and that is such a view. Like it has so many perceptions. You know, what does this look like? How do you do it? And it all depends on you and where you're at and what you're comfortable with. For me, I automatically do it very quickly. I did have the opportunity to die 10 years ago for 10 minutes. So I really have a profound understanding and knowing of what that feels like. Most people get to either, I guess a lot of people are also born awake and knowing of this and having heightened senses. And then as you get older, you move away from them. And when you begin to come back to it, then sometimes it comes through just a knowing, a sensation on your skin. There's just so many different ways. And why do spirits connect and want to communicate with us? Most of them really want to either express a message of healing for a loved one, or they have come back to assist in intelligence or understanding something, and they're here to help with personal growth. You have guardian angels, you have other angels and things that are around you all the time, and they always have amazing things to say, and as progression, as they always want you to be the better you. And so when you're connecting to spirits and you don't have a comfortable feeling or it doesn't feel right, then always just disconnect and have it go away, because they're always going to come in with really positive messages. And there is some messages that come through that you don't want to hear, but they're not like negative. They're just, sometimes we don't want to hear the truth about us. We're like, when some of our guys come through and tell us certain things, you're like, oh, that's not what I look like. That's not what it looked like. Even if you're getting what you want, sometimes it's not. You ask for something, you get it, and it's not what you look like, and you're like, never mind. I thought it was going to be something different. So it's really, I guess, connecting to spirit is some people do it for comfort, some people do it for direction, some people just do it for all these different ways. We were talking about Halloween in the middle, and we still, April and I still don't have a profound understanding of what it is, but we do know that trick-or-treating for the children is fun, and that there is an active spirit grid. I know that, meaning the spirits seem to be very active on that day. So if any of you have information to share with people, or if you want to email us or share it in the box below, or on my webpage, energyhealingbydesign.com, or share with April, handshealinghearts.com, we would love to hear what you have to say.
Do you ever think, because like I know in the beginning you were saying, well, you need to ask them, you need to ask these questions. Do you ever think, because people jokingly on Halloween scare each other and they act like they're spirits and they dress up like angels or devils or demons or, scary things. So do you think there's more attention brought around or more of the presence of certain things because people are bringing it to their intention, whether it's sincere or just joking? Just a random thought, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I feel like that through some of the healing sessions that I've done with people there is certain things, certain groups of people do on the day, on this day. And I've never stopped to ask why, because I don't want to look at that side of what some people do on this day. So it's my own wanting to stay clear, but probably to even research any further, because for some of my first clients were doing it was the ritual abuse that I did. I worked with the whole family, and I've done that several times, worked them through this, and I like didn't want to seek Halloween. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh my gosh, and I got probably an idea of it that I just kept me away from wanting to know anymore. So, but I'm willing to learn the positive piece of it. I just don't want to really seek it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's a dark side to everything. There's light and then there's dark. Yeah. I always think too with spirits, it's like you're wearing your sunglasses, and once you start to peel back the layers, then you see more.
Yeah. But I am super excited because I was able to spend it with Rona, my grandbaby, 2 years ago. He's barely walking. And this gentleman was out on his porch with this he had a big bucket of candy next to him, and he was handing it out personally. And Ronan goes up and he goes right past the guy and he grabs the whole bowl. he's like, I just want one. I'm done now. I don't have to do it anymore. So the joy and the connection and the celebration and stuff is just so fun to see those kids.
Yeah, the kids get excited. My granddaughter, she got to choose if she wanted to go to the family party that she always goes to, or if she wanted to go with her friends. And my daughter told me, she said, well, Mom, where am I going to get the most candy?
Where's the biggest candy bars?
And it is where her friends are going. So they're going to go with their friends, which is exciting because she's very excited for it.
That is great.
So, yeah.
So we will start a meditation we're really going to focus on connecting to the spirit, but I love to look at it as remembering, because this connection has always been yours. It always will be yours. So it's remembering, it's sensing and feeling and knowing that the spirit is within inside of you. And that is the most purest divine connection that you really, when you're completely engulfed in that connection and embrace that, then the other things just seem to come a lot easier and purer. So I invite you to sit back, relax, close your eyes, and really go into a joyful space. Maybe bring up a memory of a time that you felt unconditional love in motion, that joy. You didn't have to think about it. It just happened. You felt bright and you felt light. And you felt in love with life. I invite you to imagine a white light above your head. And in this light, there's these gold strands and silver strands. This is really representing the masculine and the feminine in this white light. And as you are breathing in, breathe this white light down the top of your head, through the center of your body. This white light will spin around the energy centers. In Sanskrit, they're called chakras. It will balance and move this pure light, this soulful self, through each one of those energy wheels that govern an organ. They govern blood and bones. They're literally clearing every cell of your body as it moves down into Mother Earth. Well, we remember that heart core of Mother Earth has the same resonance as our heart, the same electrical magnetic pulse. Feel that unconditional love, that nurturing. And as it moves up through the crystalline caves, the dirt, the clay, and the grass, it's really bringing up your soul's design, remembering your perfect self, and embracing all the imperfections. Even in that word, it says, I'm perfect. It moves up your body through each one of the energy centers, out and around your head, just like a fountain of delight. It's your connection. Feel it. Embrace it. As that white light expands in your heart, set an intention to connect to your highest self. That expression of soul, that perfect expression of you. And as it's moving around, and you really embrace the gap, you breathe in. What do you feel? What do you sense? What do you smell? Be aware of all of the things that are moving around you, all of the feelings, all of the emotions. That is where that connection to spirit shows up. They come in senses, smells, sounds. And as this white light is moving through your body, it's like the universe is 360 degrees around you, breathing in life. And as it breathes in, feel your body expand out. It's like this wave of light, clearing and cleansing. As you breathe in, any toxic energies that no longer serve you are dissolved, and breathe them out. Breathe the white light in and breathe the white light out, moving it all around your energetic field, balancing you and really connecting you to everything above and everything below. Now imagine these tree trunks or sand at the bottom of your feet or rocks. Something very, very grounding. Imagine your feet in the ground, and as the tree trunk moves up your body, allow it to just really ground you into this earth. And I always encourage to write right after these, because there's just that moment, that gap where you can let everything go and really put down on paper those little things. And as you come back into your body and, ooh, someone's connected to me. So I'm getting that the spirit is very strong on Halloween because of the activity throughout the past existence of Earth. Like so many different things have been dedicated, maybe is the word, or been that day has been a day of so many different. I'm getting rituals or ceremonies. I'm getting a lot of that. So it looks like it's just been like the day of so many different. I mean, it's not just one, it's like hundreds, and it's been going on for centuries. So that makes so much sense that it would be literally coming up from the ground, because we bury the humans. Their spirit is still stuck in the ground at times, and especially in the dark days. That they didn't really know how to go to the light, and we cross so many people over every day. I go to cemeteries and I work with the indigenous a lot. And so when I'm on their reservations, I see many that haven't dared go into the light yet because of fear. And so now it's making perfect sense, not perfect, but it's making sense in my visions that it's a day of very active. The earth is very active all over, and because there's been some kind of ceremony or ritual, which I don't understand because I don't practice those, but I'm seeing a lot of it. And so you're right. Like you're right when you're focused on dressing up and doing these things, and really us as a human collective is opening that space for them to communicate. We are calling on them. So that was interesting.
Oh, that is interesting.
Flew just right in. Thank you for letting me share.
Yes. I like cemeteries. They're very peaceful. Some people think they're not so peaceful, but I love them. I find peace there.
No. Well, that was like, well, I see that it makes it that there is a lot of people that do go to the cemeteries on Halloween. I can see
all holidays.
All holidays?
Because my son, he's buried in the children's section in Orange County in California, and they love holidays. Like over there, you're allowed to decorate them. So they'd always have different, and we would do the same. Like Easter, Halloween, whatever holiday you could decorate them. Some cemeteries don't allow it. Some do.
So
celebrate it.
It looks like the collective has really a very big influence when they are positively looking at any holiday, no matter what, what history has shared about it. So I don't think it really matters if we know what the original piece of Halloween was anyways. It's kind of, so for me, I'm seeing family and celebration, and you know, that a collective positive love energy could definitely just erase any of the negative.
It's like a recognized thing, kind of like symbols, like almost everybody knows what the golden arches are.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like certain things are just people know. So like holidays, some religions don't celebrate holidays, but for majority, you know, people like celebrating holidays, I believe. So as a collective, something is being shared as a whole in a way.
So I also see that the people that have crossed over, they do find some way, and it might be a religion or something, I don't know, but there is a bridge or a gateway open right now for them to speak. Have you have had someone cross over, your son? Do you feel like that you can feel him more profound in this time?
Not really, my son, because it hurt so bad when he was taken from me. So I'm aware when he's around, but he connects more to other people, and I connect more to other spirits. There's so many people that have passed away that I know, and even the ones I don't know, they just, you know, so I'm open to it, and I get messages all the time. But what they've been doing to me lately, like last night, is weird things happen. Like I was going to the hospital, and my car turned on and then it turned off. That never happened. I was like, what? And it showed a key thing. Well, inside where you unlock your car, that piece was gone, but my key thing was shut. So I'm like, come on. Like, I obviously know I know who it is. They're just messing with me. I'm thinking maybe I give them too much credit. So anyway, so I go back in the house. I'm going to take someone else's car. And then I'm like, no, I want to take my car. So it stalls me. Long story short, I found it, got it back in. It was on the sidewalk or out there. Like anyways. So I tape it together and I take my car. But literally when I got there, someone was coming out and I was going in who I needed to see. I mean, it was the exact perfect timing. So I believe they orchestrate things to perfect timing as well. So I will give them credit for a lot of things. And, you know, I don't know, it's just normal for me to, you know, connect or talk to them.
So we're super, super excited. Also, I have an event coming up, and also April has she's leaving for Haiti. So my event's this Saturday. It is the Energy Healing Conference, and it's here at Dixie Convention Center. And I'm going to be speaking about living in the now and connecting to your soul's design. So I'm going to be sharing about how I was able to master the frequencies and understand the soul's design from my death, and also from really learning to walk and talk all over again. And then how living in the now is really the only way that I was able to really be that knowing. So you have a knowing of your soul's design. You have of this soul, and you bring your purpose down. But when you're not living in the now, and I mean, what really is there but the now? And when you're standing in that now, and you're not like giving your attention to other things, you are able to completely embrace that soul's design and really move it through your body in a pure, authentic way, and be that love and light that you were born to be. Because we all have a soul's design. It's your blueprint. It's everything that you are made up from your physical to your spirit to your purpose here, and it's all in this soul's design, this divine space that you created before that you came. And when you can connect to that fundamental ray, and then be in the now, be on this earth, and really project it through your now, you will see massive changes in your life. Also, connecting to spirit becomes automatic. Clarity happens, and I'm really excited. It's the first time that I have been able to share on this the soul's design. It's been my thing since I came back, but Spirit hasn't allowed me to share it till it was a complete, till I got it completely how to share it. So I'm really excited, and it will be at the Energy Healing Conference this weekend. I speak at 5:00, but we'll be there all day with a booth, and you can reach me or any of that information on energyhealingbydesign.com. And April has an announcement too.
I'm leaving on Friday, which is right around the corner, to go to Haiti. And I'm really excited. It'll be fun. But when you were talking about speaking of the now, like living in the present moment, if you have anxiety, you're most likely living in the future and you're worrying about things that haven't even happened yet. And if you're living in the past, you're usually feeling depression, you're feeling sad. So a good way to gauge yourself is, am I feeling anxious? Am I feeling depressed? And you can't control that. So for me, that's why I love the present moment. And I love that I've had depression, so I know what that looks like. And I definitely have had anxiety and all those panic attacks. And I'm grateful for it because then I know how to live in the now. And that's another reason why I admire and love my grandkids, because they just snap me right in the now. Because they're like, go, go, go. And it's fun, fun, fun.
Yeah. You have 4 now, right? Grandkids?
4.
I have 2. I have 1 on the way. I'm so excited.
So exciting.
They are the funnest.
They are. So just get in the now.
And how do they reach you?
You could call me. My number is 702-686-7056. Or I have a website, handshealinghearts.com.
And she is accepting donations. They are leaving on the Friday, so it's really quick. But is there anything that you're seeking?
If anyone wanted to donate to buy food for people who don't have food, or to help with the house project that we're building. So you can go on the website, handshealinghearts.com, or it's on Facebook too.
Yep. And that's the most amazing experience to be able to go over there. I went with her in June to be able to see how they live and see what April has done for those people and building communities over there. And it was a very amazing experience. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I'm calling on the angels to get me through this one. Like, I have to be at the hospital. I get to be at the hospital. So I don't know how that's going to turn out. And then I get to pack, and I'm 1 bag down, so we're off to a good start.
So send blessings and prayers to April that this is going to be the most amazing experience.
Send me your angels.
And time is on your side.
Yeah, it always works out.
Yeah, it does. It does. So connecting to spirit, we'll just do a recap of, there's this small space in your heart, and it actually feels small at first because we seem to seek outside of ourselves what we're desiring or what we find truth to see, this seeking all this stuff, happiness, when it is right within this portal within your heart, and that is your soulful self, and it's waiting to just ignite. We're taught to use our brains all the time, but we don't understand, and some don't know that there's a portal in your heart that is similar to the brain. We're just not taught to use it. So really I invite you to bring down that white light, really expand it through your heart space, and trust, and just play. Life is about joy. Joy is the highest frequency of healing, of connecting, of living in love. And there's no expectations. There's no emphasis around joy. It's that unconditional love in motion, and it just happens. And so I invite you to really go into that space and breathe in that into your heart, and awaken that soulful self. And you'll feel it move throughout your whole entire body, and you'll see it move around and change and feel just life's a joy. I invite you to do that, and I also invite you to come back next week. April won't be here, but I will be here, and I will be taking callers, and then I will announce that number, and I will also give an update on Facebook to what we're talking about. So we're going to have a fun connection next week too. We'll miss you.
Oh, I'll miss you too. I will.
So I hope to see you at Energy Healing Conference this weekend at the Convention Center, Dixie Convention Center. It's 8 to 8, and I'll be speaking at 5. So have the most amazing, safe Halloween. Until next time, bye-bye.
You've been listening to Return to Consciousness with your host, Nicole Ashton, creator of Energy Healing by Design, a world-renowned healer and luminary whose life after death experience has allowed her the gift of empowering people around the globe to heal and grow in their true authentic space. For audio and/or video